Today's topic is called Fix It. And it's interesting to me that the focus of our day-to-day business operations in the dealership covers so many topics. The focus might be on customer satisfaction, parts loyalty programs, repair order performance. The list could go on forever, really. But what I find intriguing about this is many times we lose the focus on the primary concern the customer has brought their car into the dealership for. Someone hits our service drive and we pummel them with maintenance packages, needed maintenance items, or whatever we get a spiff on that particular week. Our efforts and energy goes into that process, and many times we lose customers because they desire our attention on their concern. I remember one time a technician walked up to me with a repair order, and I looked at the way it was written, and it's interesting to comment on this. It sticks out in my mind that the consultant, the advisor wrote this: customer states the door handle is loose. Now in most cars today, if we've got a 4-door vehicle, there's 8 door handles. We've got inner door handles, 4 of them, and we've got outer door handles. Now, the reality of this RO is none of that was mentioned. When the technician asked the advisor which door handle, I don't know, they just told me loose door handle. Do you see how destructive that kind of information is for a technician to fix the concern on the vehicle? And the time wasted for the technician to jiggle and look at each door handle to see if he can figure out which one of the 8 was broken or not working well or had some kind of issue that the technician didn't even bother to look at. You see, this advisor, I guarantee you, didn't go to the car with the customer and look at the vehicle. We could say things like these 2 words, which I love dearly. Show me. Oh, I have a loose door handle and this is a concern. Would you show me this concern so I can understand it? Which door handle is it? Then that person can say the outer rear left door handle is broken, or whatever that concern is that the customer had. We lose that. We want to sell them wiper blades and transmission flushes and fuel system flushes and all of this stuff, which, by the way, I'm not saying needs to be totally disregarded. I'm a maintenance nut myself, and I appreciate taking care of my vehicle well. But if we don't have an understanding of what the primary concern is for this customer, how in the world are we going to meet all of the things we're supposed to be focused on? How are we going to have a customer satisfaction? How are we going to have good technician efficiencies? We need to look at a different way. One of the ways that I think is totally underused is diagnostic worksheets. Many of you might be puzzled when I start up a conversation on diagnostic worksheets. In my travels through hundreds of dealerships, I find very few know what this is or use them in any form or fashion on a consistent basis. Never quite understood why, and I strongly recommend that you start looking into diagnostic worksheets. Diagnostic worksheets should be filled out by the service advisor along with the customer, analyzing their concerns. How can the dealership technician duplicate this concern? How often does it happen? Does it happen hot or cold? There are different diagnostic worksheets by most manufacturers that are available on their websites. Some really good ones on rattles. And here again, on a rattle, if we don't hear the noise or understand it or ask where it's located, how do we duplicate it? What are the odds of us fixing it? Slim to none. These worksheets assist our techs in getting to the core issue of the problem. I recall one time I was at a dealership watching the technician turn a car on and off repeatedly. The technician stated this car was a comeback due to an intermittent hard start. Technician originally, on diagnosing it, popped the hood, looked at it, and the positive battery cable was extremely corroded with the battery case cracked, allowing acid to leak onto the cable. Technician had no doubt. I found the cause for this intermittent hard start, developed an estimate, and the advisor sold the work. Although the battery was legitimately replaced along with the cable, it wasn't the cause of the intermittent hard start. The customer returned to the dealership with a $300 bill from the previous repair, thought it was a joke. If there was a proper customer intake process, the battery would have been shown to the customer along with that cable. They wouldn't have questioned that needed to be replaced. That little extra time would have saved this customer. However, if I was this customer and they just spent $300 on a repair, it didn't fix the vehicle, I would feel cheated. And as a matter of fact, I know this. If the customer had seen this, now it doesn't mean that that's the issue. It could have been sold. And then we look for the concern. When the technician was turning this car off and on, and I started looking into this concern, the truth is, I asked the technician, does this concern happen when it's hot or cold? His jaw dropped a few inches, and he explained to me he doesn't know. Well, the advisor said, oh, no, it only happens cold. Well, the truth is, when the customer was contacted, it only happens when it's hot. So here's a technician turning this car on and off when it's cold, and it's working wonderfully. If the advisor had used one of these diagnostic worksheets, the issue could have been corrected. The car would have been fixed right the first time. They wouldn't have felt cheated. They would have bought the battery. They needed to do that anyway. They would have bought the cable. They needed to do that anyway. And the reality of that is if the battery and the cable weren't replaced, the vehicle would have come back again as well, right? They wouldn't have felt cheated. The vehicle would have been fixed if we had good, solid processes and the diagnostic worksheet was used. Why don't we do this? This should be a standard practice. This should be common because everybody wins. The customer that brings the vehicle in only wants the repair done. They want you to fix it. Fix it right the first time. They're open-minded to other things like this battery and cable, that the vehicle needs to be right. but they are not open to poor communication. We must improve the communication between the customer and the dealership. That includes your technicians. That includes your advisors. We need to open up this communication at every level. Your dealership communication skills are the path to improve efficiency, customer satisfaction, and profits. We must improve our focus and fix it. Thank you for your time, and I hope you have a great day. Talk to you next week.
Hi, are you struggling to increase your service department's effective labor rate? Many dealerships today are. We can help you with our proven process and years of experiences. My team has been through all that you face today. We have found solutions for even the largest problems, such as employees that are not team players, no one updating the customer on the completion time of their vehicle, no walkarounds being performed at all, and worst of all, shrinking profit margins. Fixed Performance is the solution you've been looking for. We will take your service department to the next level of performance by increasing your customer retention, turning your staff into a team, and best of all, maximizing your effective labor rate. So let me ask you, what are you waiting for? Give us a call today at 888-205-8718. Fixed Performance, where we have total commitment to your team's excellence.